Hi, here's a quick tutorial on how to hook up a feeder to the Archon using a simple relay. First, to show you that it works, I have a standby set up for feeding. When I click on that, the feeder will spin around to feed the fish. On the Archon, I am using the Vout4, which is your pin 7 and 8, which is a 0 to 10 volt output. Within the controller, I've set up my Vout4 as a feeder with a function of ramp. And my settings are a maximum of 50 with a minimum of 0. It's a maximum of 50 for 50% since I want 5 volts out of the 0 to 10 volts. There may be a better way to set this up, and I'd appreciate someone letting me know. Now, to hook up the relay itself, it's pretty basic. The relay I purchased on Amazon, which is this guy here. It's set up for a 5 volt coil, which is your switching volt, which is the voltage coming from the Archon, and then it can handle a contact rated voltage of 24 volts, which is plenty fine for the feeder itself. If you haven't taken one of these feeders apart, it's pretty easy. On the back part of it, you have the compartment that comes off to put the batteries in and out. On the bottom of the feeder, you have 4 screw holes. When you take those screws out, you can pop the cover off. You pop the cover off, you have this rubber cover for the buttons. Take that off and that exposes the electronics. On the top here, there are 6 screws. Once you take those off, you can take off the circuit board. What we really care about here are these 2 switches up front. Those are your manual switches for the manual feeding. If we look at the bottom of the circuit board, what you'll see is this here. In the top right corner that I've circled, this is where I soldered on 2 wires to the first switch. These 2 wires will go out to the relay, and this is what will trigger the feeding on the feeder itself. If we get a little closer in here, you can see my relay. I just went ahead and mounted it right under here, and it fits nice and snug, and I'll be able to conceal that very easily. And you can see the 2 wires running down from the bottom side of the switch. Then you have 2 more wires coming out of the relay. This is what will go out to the Archon itself. When I'm done with this, I'm just going to simply drill a hole in this back cover here to run the wire out. It should look pretty clean. To set up the relay, it's pretty straightforward. So the relay looks like this. You can see these terminals coming out of the bottom. There's 6 terminals on the bottom of it. So if we line it up to where the relay is face down, so the text is on the bottom here and we're looking at the bottom, you see the 6 pins. The 2 center pins are your coil pins, and this is really your switch. So this is where you want to solder wires that go out to the Archon. The 2 red lines here are your 2 contact points that will go to the switch on the feeder itself. So when the Archon applies power here across the coil, this switch will trigger, and then it'll connect these contacts, which will then turn the feeder on itself.